The Mandela Effect is when a large group of people remember something differently than it is now. And today, I'm finally answering the question, what caused the Mandela Effect? This has been a debate for years and years with many compelling arguments. There are 12 explanations I've come up with, each one diving into a different explanation for what caused the Mandela Effect. Everything from time travel to CERN to bad memory and beyond. Today, we're talking about the government. For decades, people have noticed their memories don't always match reality. But what if it wasn't just a glitch? What if the government itself was behind these shifts in our collective memory? Governments have a long history of attempting to control public perception and behavior. During the Cold War, covert government projects sought to gain an advantage over perceived enemies by manipulating the minds of their own citizens. One of the most infamous of these was MK Ultra, a CIA program that experimented with mind control and psychological manipulation. These experiments into mind control used a variety of methods: psychedelic drugs, sensory deprivation, electroshock treatment, and more. Millions of dollars were secretly funneled into these experiments, often without the knowledge or consent of the subjects. This is not just the stuff of fiction, it's a documented fact. Given this history, it isn't a stretch to think that governments could be running sophisticated, covert operations today aimed at altering people's memories on a massive scale, thus creating a collective illusion like the Mandela Effect. The government also exerts significant influence over the media, which plays a crucial role in shaping what people believe to be true. For example, government agencies often partner with social media platforms to promote specific content, particularly during crises. This algorithmic curation is unbelievably powerful in this digital age, as it shapes public discourse. Regaining the narrative and controlling the narrative is government 101 these days. By amplifying certain content and deprioritizing or removing others, this form of censorship influences what people remember or believe about current events. Consider Operation Mockingbird, a covert CIA operation that began in the 1950s and saw intelligence agents working with major news outlets to control the narrative and influence public opinion. The overall goal of this operation never ended. Nearly every major media outlet today has former CIA officers in their ranks. I'm talking Google, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Amazon, OpenAI, The New York Times, CNN, NBC, Fox News. The list alone is so long that it could be an entire video. The idea of influencing the masses through controlled information isn't a theory. It's a fact that has been exposed and confirmed. Today, over 90% of the US media is owned by just a few corporations, allowing a very small group to dictate the stories told to millions. The government is actively collaborating with these media giants and altering, censoring, and distorting historical facts, influencing what people believe they know about the past. Imagine subtle shifts in narratives across news, entertainment, and even social media that change our perception of key historical events. The result of this would be contributing to the phenomenon known as the Mandela Effect. The idea of deliberately implanting false memories may sound like science fiction, but psychological research has shown it's entirely possible. Elizabeth Loftus, a leading expert in memory research, conducted many studies that demonstrated how false memories could be implanted. In one famous 1995 study, 25% of participants were actually convinced that they had a false memory of being lost in a shopping mall as a child. Elizabeth Loftus called the study existence proof for the phenomenon of false memory creation and manipulation. When governments have access to massive amounts of data on individuals, and modern technologies that can influence people through suggestion, such as targeted media content and subliminal cues, the possibility of altering collective memory becomes very real. It's not just a question of whether they can do it, but why wouldn't they use these techniques if it served a political purpose or helped maintain control? The Mandela Effect could also be a deliberate strategy used by the government to distract the public. Imagine if a powerful entity wanted to keep people from paying attention to what really mattered: scandals, corruption, or systemic failures. By sowing doubt about shared memories, governments might succeed in creating a sense of confusion and distraction. Historical precedent exists for this type of manipulation. During the Cold War, misinformation campaigns were used to divert attention and maintain public control. Today, the Mandela Effect could be a similar tactic, an elaborate ruse to keep people questioning their own memories rather than questioning authority. The concept of manufactured confusion is a powerful tool. When people aren't sure what's real, they're less likely to unite and resist. Whether it's deliberate psychological manipulation, media control, or something even more insidious, the idea that the Mandela Effect could be orchestrated by powerful forces is hard to ignore. Does this mean the government caused the Mandela Effect? Let me hear your thoughts below, and please look forward to the next episode, where I'll tackle another possible explanation for what caused the Mandela Effect.